Before I start Proverbs 22, I want to point out that it's not as simple as having a good reputation is a good name. The name of God is faithful and true. The Lord is the warrior. The Lord is his name, and so on and so forth. Okay, so his name's relative to the characteristics of God. The Lord Almighty, right? Almighty is also his name. Okay, God is love. Love is his name. God is a God of justice. Justice is his name. Righteousness is his name. So a good name in that regard. In America, there's a bunch of angry people, okay? And they're not necessarily in a rage all the time. There's corporate anger, there's political anger, on and on and on and on and on, okay? Now, the way things work, and most people in America are white, is they provoke people like me who make arguments based on morality, okay? They drug them, they try to make them seem gay, like they don't know what they're talking about, okay? So some white guy with a cape on, with red cape, because they're evil, will come and say, hey, freeze, after they provoke you and gun you down. They have a long history of planting guns and drugs, okay? I've met people that went to jail and admitted that they sold drugs, okay? And they said, hey, sometimes they plant drugs on them. So sometimes they are drug dealers. But what led up to them being a drug dealer? So when they say, well, there you go, and that's a good thing, right? No, you first set them up to be a drug dealer. So America does not have a good name. The various races in America, because of their complicity with America, does not have a good name. The 380,000 churches, because their fruit is pitiful, don't have a good name, and this is true with every country in the world. But America, my goodness, how complicit you were. They're like the right hand of the European arrogant governing class. Okay, it's sad. Proverbs 22. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. To be esteemed by God, not Dick Dastardly, so to speak. Not Lex Luthor, Dr. Doom, so to speak. Not corporate trash. Not traitors to God. People love to point the finger at everyone else. One of the most important scriptures, remove the log from your own eye first before you remove the speck from your brother's. And has absolutely the governing class, the managerial class, attractive women. Okay? You people have a log in your eye. You don't think straight, and your deeds give it away. You say, well, how do you know? I know because you rebel against God. After this, I'm going to go over the 10 Commandments and how everyone else breaks every single one and how they all connect to the divine order, and there's no other way it could be. Okay? Verse 2, rich and poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all. Okay? God, in a sense, is also the maker of viruses, diseases, pedophiles. So the rich can't exactly take that and run with it. 3, the prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. Again, this is in more than one place. The prudent see danger and take refuge. The simple keep going and pay the penalty. 4, humility is the fear of the Lord. Its wages are riches, honor, and life. Okay? So humility is what? It's the fear of the Lord. I'm going to go over this several times so you get it through your head. Humility is what? It's the fear of the Lord. When I said in the name of God, I'm challenging everybody because I want to be universally morally precise. Focus, moral intensity. My original challenge, I put a bunch of annotations, what they're called at the time, on the thing about how this prescription pills were killing people, how hospitals, psychiatric hospitals enforce white social norms, okay, about how major corporations enforce white social norms. It's supposed to be a free country where you're supposed to be able to express yourself and so on and so forth, but there's massive groups of people that blacklist you and persecute you for your freedom of speech. Instead of saying, I respect your freedom of speech, may the best man get the job, they don't do that. I touched on important issues. I started off by saying, I'm the top martial artist in California, but I meant the world eventually, okay? And I'm being persecuted for my political views, okay? So it was about fearing God and saying, I'm doing the right thing, and I'm challenging everybody to bring attention to that and to give me the right and rightful place, because nobody in sight or anywhere else is doing the right thing, and I need to be in charge. And why all these people since then, 9 million times 12, going on 13, people have died. So 108 million plus people have starved to death, just from starvation alone, because they didn't put me in charge of the world. Okay? So you might think, oh, that, this, that, nothing. Okay, I'm the son of God. I'm the top martial artist ever. If I was in charge, people would be fed. Almost no one would starve to death. They'd have to, fall into a hole where no one can find them or something. Okay? But instead, you have these monsters who believe in Luciferian liberation. They believe in Greco-Roman mysteries. They believe in materialism, a deeper materialism. They believe in all these popular philosophies, feminism, LGBT philosophies, conservatism, liberalism, libertarianism, and that's why so many people suffer. So again, humility is the fear of the Lord. Its wages are spiritual, obviously, spiritual. Riches, honor, and life. Was Jesus in the Bible rich? No. Was John the Baptist? No. 5. In the paths of the wicked are pitfalls, but those who would preserve their lives stay far from them. They say the mouth of an adulterous woman can be a snare, a pitfall, a pit, a deep pit is how they put it. Okay, so there's various pitfalls, and the actions of Jerusalem, of the planet, of the nations of the earth, like mother, America, the motherland, and so on and so forth. So the daughter Jerusalem, daughter America, daughter Babylon, okay, are a deep pit. Say the paths of the wicked are like the nations. The nations go down to the realm of the wicked go down to the realm of the dead. All the nations, they forget God. Okay, so the nations themselves and their behaviors are the pit, are the realm of the dead. Okay, but it's not the same as the lake of fire, because God is a consuming fire who's, when you face in the afterlife with him, with your soul, you burn forever in disgrace for having lived in the pit instead of put on the fine linen, which is the righteous acts of the children of God. 6. Start children off in the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. So, when they raise their daughters to be hypergamous sluts, to be vulnerable to being strippers instead of dying for honor if they had no other choice, to being prostitutes, to being corporate sluts, to being sorority groupies, cheerleader sluts, assorted fucking whores, instead of obeying God, fake Christians, not a single female Christian out there, except for maybe my mom, who doesn't quite consider herself a Christian. There's not a single valid Christian on the planet, not a single person who obeys God through me, because their parents clung onto their culture with a death grip and started them off with Americanism, with conservatism, with liberalism, with Catholicism, with Protestantism, okay, Mormons, and on and on and on. They chose all these demon nations, denominations, instead of the one true teacher, me, the Messiah, and the moral principles which would have allowed them to be prepared to receive me and to put God first, and not their despicable lives and their despicable families that they started off in the wrong way. With all due respect, if any of us do, to be diplomatic, whatever you want to call it. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. The rich rule over the poor. Let's see here. If your kingdom is of this world, those rich bitches, those megalomaniacs, those mass murdering, mass starving, 3 million children starve to death a year, over 8,000 children starve to death a day, and die of hunger-related issues, type of filth, are your masters. And no servant can be greater. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Okay? If you are of God, I'm spiritually rich, you're all morally and spiritually bankrupt. If you were going to be of God, then you would have to accept me ruling over you. The 10 Commandments, you'll have no other God but God, and no other chain of command but God's. You idolaters. We'll get to that in the next video. Whoever, I'm not going to put in the playlist. I'll make this a playlist. Well, I'm running out of time. Whoever sows injustice reaps calamity, and the rod they wield in fury will be broken. The rod is a phallic symbol too. Okay? Their penis is broken. Their family is broken. Their nation is broken. Their swords, their sissy martial arts, it's a joke. They had to resort to sabotaging me, changing my voice, my appearance, and poisoning me and fume me every day. If their martial arts were worth a damn, you think they would resort to that? No. Their churches were worth a damn. If their cultures, their nations, think about it. And they all came together, and hundreds of them gang stalked me a day, and so on and so forth, whatever the number is. 9. The generous, the generous basically are blessed because they share their food. The generous will be prosperous. The generous will be blessed because they share their food with the poor. Okay, so I was willing to teach people how to be a man of God, a woman of God. Your children are not going the right way. They need me to raise them. It is not fair to them. For, they have little kids gang stalking people. 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, just barely smart enough to speak, and they're gang stalking people. Because you led them in the wrong way. You're willing to let them get killed by some target individual flipping out. You're willing to risk that. But you're not willing to risk them for God. Okay? Because you people are extremely negligent parents. Extremely sick people. I've had some of these people say to me, it's pathetic argument, disgraceful as hell. They said, you don't even know it's true. I don't know that moral precision is true. I don't know that focused moral intensity is true. You don't believe in God. Certainly you believe that a life of 10 years being righteous is preferred to 10,000 years as scum. If you don't, you are severely mentally ill. Even the word normal has N moral scrambled in it. You are abnormal. You are ill. You are sick. And you people should not be raising kids. 10. Drive out the mocker, and out goes the strife, quarrels, and insults are ended. So you started the insults when you cheated me out of my right to lead. When you insult God with your satanic lives. When you live immoral lives and you insist that you're Luciferianly liberated and so on and so. You started the quarrels with your fake churches. With your fake philosophies, paths, ways, and lifestyles, and customs, and traditions, and rules. If you stop being mocker bitches, the quarrel with God would have ended. And after I'm gone, there's no way to do that. Especially because you made a calculated theft or an attempt at one. To cheat me out of my right to lead, so your despicable, hell-spawned children will be seen as important to complete retards who don't have the brain function to realize that life on this planet is not worth living, even though they sing Braveheart and Shaka Zulu and Bruce Lee Chinese Connection, where it ends saying, who says life is preferred, and so on and so forth. 11. One who loves a pure heart and who speaks with grace will have the king for a friend. One who loves a pure heart in true love, God is love, okay, and speaks with grace and truth would have been my friend. But you all are my enemies. My parents are blameless. My brothers, to some degree, are my enemies too. It is fucking sad, and you people are responsible for that. You did that, not me. Okay, 12. The eyes of the Lord keep watch over knowledge, but he frustrates the words, the deeds of the unfaithful. Okay, the words meaning deeds, right? See, when Jesus said, you have said so to Pilate, right? So first and foremost, actions speak louder than words, okay? 13. The sluggards, so obviously these people are acting like bitches, Harry Potter bitches, Hulk Hogan bitches, okay, fucking, weirdos in the UFC, weirdos in every culture, token minority weirdos, thugs accepting the gay agenda, weirdos everywhere. 13. The sluggard says there's a lion outside, I'll be killed in the public square, okay? Sluggard, lazy, coward, it takes a certain kind of work ethic to man up and accept adversity and accept persecution. These people are too lazy, too cowardly, too stupid. And they'll cite things. What they cite is like an ox. They say, well, work on the construction. Well, you're a big knucklehead idiot. That's like the ox saying to the falcon, you're lazy because you won't pull the cart. It's fucking retarded. 14. The mouth of an adulterous woman is a deep pit. A man who is under the Lord's wrath falls into it. So going back to what I said earlier, right? Where I said that in the paths of the wicked are pitfalls, but those who would preserve their lives stay far from them. So the adulterous women who don't obey God through me, those who want to preserve their souls, stay far from them. Their own kids should run away, okay? Should try to be emancipated minors and obey God through me, because these women do not know what the fuck they're doing. They married bitch-ass motherfuckers that I have to hold to a higher standard. And how much a bitch is. Men, we're supposed to, males, because I'm one of the few men, me and my dad, basically, males were supposed to put them in line. Instead, you made sure they were out of line so that they would have a broken scale when it comes to dating, so you could all fuck them and act like it's their fault and act like bitches, okay? It's pathetic. That's not what a man is. When David said to Solomon on his deathbed, he said, be a man and obey God. And Jesus said, I'm the root and offspring of David. You people are not men. Your wives are not women. You are the walking dead. You are baby line, Rothschild run scoundrels, okay? And if somebody cares about you, they're going to say that to you. They're not going to pretend you're doing the right thing. If you see someone raping a kid and everyone's doing it, and you care about that person, you're going to tell that person to stop doing it. You're going to pull them off. You're going to do what you got to do, if you can do it. Okay? The people who don't care about them say, this is our culture, whoopee, yeah! Ain't that right, boys? Okay, we're good. Okay, I guess it's going to be part 3 of the 10 Commandments.